Hi, my name is Talesian, and I stream Star Wars The Old Republic on Sundays. And I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about Game Update 7.5 Desperate Defiance. These are the update notes that were on the SWTOR main site, and I wanted to go over them really quick. One of the first things they had to do is the next chapter of the story, Desperate Defiance, where Padawan Shahar Katin asks the player for help on a risky mission to help retrieve Darth Null's holocron. Turning on Hutta Call, her brother Raycon, and the Hidden Chain. Visit the new Mibusa district on Hutta and meet new allies, including Adivampa and Racket, leaders of the Workers' Rebellion. Now, I admit I have not done very much of the new storyline. My current playthrough is the early part of the Jedi campaign, but I'm always fascinated when finding out about new updates and such. And from what little things I've seen from other streamers and other video things, this update looks to be very interesting. The storyline looks to be very good. Another one of the big notes in this update is PvP Season 6. The Great Pirate Hunt is supposed to start on May the 29th and will run this time for 16 weeks. They've upped it from 12 weeks. So for those of you who are interested in PvP, there is a link right here. And I'm not very much into PvP, but basically, they would run for 16 weeks. They've increased the maximum season levels up to 30. The total points required to complete the PvP season will be up to 9,000 from 7,000. And Warzone med packs and adrenals have been added to the reward track. For those of you who are not familiar, there's a separate reward track just for PvP. There's season objectives and new armor rewards and armor sets, decorations, titles, and a new flare will be coming with Season 6. And here's an example of the blue and red flag toys that will be available for those who are going down the PvP track. Another thing that they're doing is the Basilisk Prototype Venture. They're introducing a whole new venture system with Update 7.5. Players who have fully completed Lane Vizslila's story missions will be introduced to B3S1, Bessie, the Basilisk prototype. Players must work with Lane to help restore the prototype to full functionality. And more information about that, there's a link to it, and I've gone ahead and pulled it up. I think she's cute. I think this is going to be fun. I think this is a new way to get a companion. I know I have I have a lot of the other companions that have been made available through the previous seasons and such. And I like the way this one looks. And also, this one supposedly you get to upgrade as you go through and do more quests for it. First thing they do is, what is a venture? Ventures are a new system that we're introducing to Star Wars The Old Republic. To break a venture down to its basics, players who participate in this new system will complete a relatively long series of tasks to receive a unique reward. Ventures are designed with a solo player in mind. So while grouping may speed up the process or make heroic missions easier, everything can be accomplished without needing to coordinate with other players. In this first venture, players embark on an effort to restore functionality to B3S1, the Basilisk prototype that Lane has been working on, eventually unlocking her as a full-fledged companion. Now, in order to be eligible for this venture, you must have an active subscription, you must have a character who is level 80, the ability to travel to Runuk, and completed a mission, A Few Modification, from Lane Vizslila's storyline in Kessen's Landing. I'm not going to go into very much more of the details, but I've seen some of the videos and stuff for this, and this looks very interesting. I think this is a fun way to introduce a new companion, and I'm really looking forward to when I'm getting high enough up to trying out the new venture system and seeing how well it works. Also, they are finally introducing the last part of the annual events, so that will finish out the calendar, and this is the Dantooine Spring Abundance Festival. It's an annual event, and there's an information to it right here. And this one seems to be doing around more of farming and cooking and stuff like that. And I think it's interesting. I like things like that in the game. I play a lot of LOTRO, also Lord of the Rings Online, and they have fishing. They have other hobbies in the game that are really interesting. Cooking is a big thing for that as well. Same thing with a lot of the games, like EverQuest and EverQuest 2 and stuff. They have cooking as just part of the fun, and occasionally they have things to it. But this one is interesting here. Even heroes need a break every now and then. What a better way to pass the time than relaxing on a cozy farmstead on Dantooine? When the event is active, players can pick up the mission on the fleet and make their way to Biba Groves, a secondary landing point on Dantooine. Players will find themselves the owners of a brand new farmstead, but something is not quite right. An unknown threat lingers on the land. After completing 2 story missions, the player can access repeatable event missions. And there's a festive footwork, pastier of the daily, and festival pastry sampling. Well, that definitely sounds interesting. Zappafish. Creature rehabilitation, seed culturing and cultivation, and an egg hunt, which is a weekly event. And does this mean new rewards? Yep, there are new titles, new decorations. Look at this. This is interesting. This is the barbecue pit and pie decorations that you'll be able to get for your strongholds. Some of the plant decorations look really nice too. I like this tomato-ish type plant here. And some of these little boxes, I think it'd be pretty good for most of the strongholds. And then there's some outfits too. A farmhand grazer and night shift tech, which I think is really good. And of course some weapons, because you've got to be defeating some foes for this. So there's the fitted Webster 19 blaster rifle and sniper rifle. And then of course it wouldn't be a good festival in SWTOR without mounts and pets. The subterranean mudhorn and the farmland speeder, and marshland mud pup, savannah mud pup, and subterranean mud pup mini pets. So I think this is going to be an interesting event. It's going to remain active for, looks like 28 days. Biba Groves will remain accessible, but the missions will not be active again until next year. So it'll be interesting to see if there's anything that you can do off times. Is there are the plants that you can grow there? Are you be able to grow them year round? Are you able to continue cultivating creatures and stuff? It'll be interesting to see what they do with this area and how they bring it in further. And also one of the other big updates that they've got is the Hutta Modernization. Coming back to Hutta, which they're doing in 7.5, means showing something familiar but also something new. The team has been hard at work modernizing many parts of Hutta that not only appear in the Mimbusa district, but in the original areas of Hutta as well. And for this one, I went to Today in Tor, and they've got some skybox images that you can go ahead and scroll left and right. Here's what the old skybox looks like, and this is what the newer skybox looks like. I mean, it really changes the way Hutta looks. And then here's another view of it from a different location, the old skybox and the new skybox. I'm really looking forward to when I get to that part of my camp, where I get part of my adventure where I start a bounty hunter or my Imperial agent, and I get to go through the new Hutta. I think that's going to make it interesting. I always thought Hutta, while it's a beautiful planet, it didn't make sense that it was, bright and no overpresent fog. So having that adding the new skybox in there, like they've got, I think is a good thing. I think it's going to really make Hutta a little more. It's going to get you into Hutta more, I feel. Also, one of the other things that they're doing is they're updating the cartel market window. It's been given a brand new bar across the top with a much larger collection buttons, which is good because I keep missing that little tiny one they had before. And then they're having inspired by a button. So right now they got inspired by Ashoka and inspired by the Mandalorian, but they're thinking their outfits also, they're guessing that there's going to be one inspired by based on the High Republic time as well. So I think it's really going to be nice if you're just looking to outfit or get certain cartel market items that are designed for a certain theme. I think this is a good thing. And they can add more buttons up there too as time goes on. So they can come up with more themes and stuff. Also, some of the other updates, they've got missions. They'll be able to access missions in the following daily areas without needing to have completed a story on their legacy. Operations of Outpoint, PvP, and of course fixes all the way through. I'll have a link to this update notes on SWTOR.com, and it'll have links also to some of the sub-pages for the Dantooine event, for the Hutta refix, and so forth, and Bessie as well, if you want to take a deeper look. Overall, I think this is a good, positive update. There's a lot of good changes in here, not only covering some of the earlier stuff, but a whole new side mission. The annual event, the Dantooine Festival, looks very interesting. I'm personally interested in the pie eating. Yum, 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 yum. But I think it's going to be good. I think, and in fact, they're finishing up the calendar. I think is a good idea. That way, that there's events year round, every couple of months or so. I think will keep people interested, and they can always add new events. And I think this prototype venture that they're starting with this one too, the Bastos prototype. I think that's going to be a very interesting thing too. And I will be honest. When it was reported that Broadsword was going to take over the game, I wasn't sure what to think at first. I wasn't sure if it was just going to basically go into maintenance mode, if they were just going to do little updates, or if they were actually going to start doing things like they're doing here. And I'm really glad that they are. Broadsword is really taking the helm, and I think we're going to see some good things going forward for Star Wars The Old Republic. Speaking of which, I stream Star Wars The Old Republic every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific on Twitch. I'm currently working on a Jedi Knight, and I'm running through the Jedi Knight campaign, but I will probably pop on one of my other characters on another server and take a look at the Hutta update, and then probably swing by Dantooine and take a look at the Dantooine Festival for a little bit as well when I stream this Sunday, as well as continuing on with my adventure. So there'll be links down below to my Twitch channel and to my Discord server where I have SWTOR information and information for other games like Diablo 4 and Lord of the Rings Online. And there's also a link to my personal Instagram down below. So if you're interested, please join me. Again, I'll be streaming Sunday, 2 p.m. on Twitch, twitch.com/Talesian. And I hope to see you there. May the Force be with you, always.